Hi, my name is Chuck Dobry, and I'm running for Secretary Treasurer of CW Local 2100. And the reason I'm running for Secretary Treasurer of Local 2100 is because I believe that whoever is the treasurer should be accountable for the financial situation of the local. I, as treasurer of CW Local 2100, was never audited by the Department of Labor. We passed 9 audits from when I was there from the accounting firm that we hire every year to do our review of our books, and we never had an issue. Also, I'm about working with other people, and I've always had a passion for doing what's right for the membership, and I've always done that. I've always put the membership first, and I've also used the monies that I've saved over the years from the local to help add things for the members, such as the Union Scholarship Program, which was from money that we saved when I changed banks when I became treasurer. Also, we were able to start the Union Trap Shoot, which was something that was never done before. And prior to becoming treasurer, we only the officers of the local were allowed to go on the union-sponsored golf tournament, which benefits laid off union members or members that became too ill to work, and it helped support them and their families. Now, to find out what kind of person I am and how I handle the finances and how seriously I take them at CW Local 2100, we're gonna let you listen to Tim Gordon, who was Executive Vice President of CWA Local 2100.
Hi, I'm here with Tim Gordon. He's retired, but he used to work with the Local 2100 and worked closely with Chuck Dobry, who was running for the Secretary Treasurer position at Local 2100. I have a series of questions for Tim, and since he knows Chuck well, and we're going to go ahead and ask some questions of Tim and get his opinion about what kind of work Chuck did while he worked closely with him as a treasurer. So the first question I have is, how long did you serve, Tim, as Executive Vice President while Chuck Dobry was Secretary Treasurer?
I served for one term. It was a 3-year stint,
Okay.
and that was the term of 3 years.
Okay. So what was your experience like with Chuck Dobry as a Secretary Treasurer?
I found it eye-opening and very helpful. Being new to the position, I came in, Chuck told me about the duties and the operations of the local, helped me with the contract. I was not very familiar with the contract at the time. He could point out certain things to me as I was looking for procedures for grievance, and it was always an open door policy. I could walk in and ask him a question. If he didn't know the answer, he wouldn't say, he would research it and come back to me.
He wouldn't leave you hanging.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh, very good, very good. So my next question is, how would you describe his financial stewardship at Local 2100?
I would say thorough. A lot of people don't understand that each year the local is audited by an accounting firm, and Chuck has to gather all the information throughout the whole year and provide that to them so that they can go through the finances and the books of the local. Not only that, each month we would have a monthly budget meeting, and he would show us in black and white what our intake was for dues, where our expenses were, and what they were for. Along with that, each year we had a financial committee meeting, and that was with various members, not officers of the local, but actual local members coming in to look at what money we've taken in, what money we've spent, and Chuck would provide all that. He would print it all out in hard black and white so that you could understand where your money's going.
So the word is transparent, because...
Oh yes, definitely. You could go in and ask Chuck, not only was he transparent as where the monies were going, but there were certain things that he had to research. If we were going to buy new sweatshirts, and he's the one, he's in control of the money. He knows how much money we can afford to spend for sweatshirts,
Right.
caps,
Right.
whatever it may be, T-shirts. So he was there. Never a problem. I had to sign checks when the president at the time wasn't there or available,
Right.
and I never had a problem. If I had a question of a check, I'd ask Chuck what it was for, and he could
Right.
show me what it was for.
So it also, not only is he transparent, but he was organized. He knew where to go and how to obtain the information you need, financial information at any given times, because he was that organized.
Yes, there's definitely, a lot of people may not know this, but when Chuck took over, there was not really a
System.
thorough, which I would consider a thorough budget. There was, the previous treasurer maybe had 4 or 5 categories. Well, Chuck had broke it down into utilities. He broke it down into expenses for conventions that were required that we were to go to,
Oh, wow.
to meetings. Every time that we had a meeting, Chuck was responsible to pay the facility that we were having a Union Hall meeting at,
Okay.
whether it be down in Rosedale at the VFW Hall
Okay.
or American Legion, whatever that was, or out in Bel Air. Chuck was the one responsible for paying the people for us to be there.
Very nice. And speak to me, now you mentioned the budget meetings. They would be held monthly?
Yes, with the president, the executive vice president, the treasurer, secretary, and I'm trying to think.
Is that like
Those
DVPs there?
Yes,
Okay.
and the district vice presidents
Okay.
would all gather, and we would go over, and Chuck would print in black and white, hand everyone a copy,
Very,
and
so
say,
they each had their own copy to see where
yes,
the numbers.
and here he was accounting for every penny that was being spent and what it was being spent
And
for.
everyone had an opportunity to ask him questions for clarification. and all
Certainly,
that.
there were
Okay.
times that people didn't understand or didn't understand what that expense was, and they would ask, and he would answer them.
And you know, I think that's essential to have those kind of meetings, because then there's no secret. It doesn't sound like, you know, these are the members' dues. So it's good you can have these meetings to be so transparent, so they can actually have questions and see where the money's going.
Yeah, we're working out in the field. Many times, guys would say, "Well, I don't know what my dues are going to." Well, if you really wanted to know what they were going to, the person to go to is the treasurer.
Right,
And
right,
as a secretary treasurer, he can explain where your money's going.
right, right. That's important, very much so. Now, Tim, I would like you to speak to Chuck's character as it relates to his commitment to the local and the members.
Well, I think, unbeknownst to many members, I've probably known Chuck for over 20 years. We both organized at Baltimore Gas and Electric, trying to organize a union there. And I'll tell you right now, neither one of us was afraid of losing our job. We stood up for what we considered our co-workers and our membership. And I know for a fact that that's what Chuck's priority is. That number one, Chuck is out for the benefit, looking for the benefit for all his co-workers and all the members of Local 2000. There's no selfishness there. I think it's his nature
Right, right.
to look out for everybody, and he's been doing it as long as I've known him.
Very good. And I think that's what members are looking for, less of yourself and more of looking out for other people. And that's a good character to have, when you can look out for others and put their interest in front of yours.
Oh, certainly. And I mean, and there's other things that people don't see that Chuck was necessary to do. You know, that's a lot of, when it comes down to the bottom line, he's responsible for all the monies spent and how they're spent.
Right,
So when you're out on strike and you're going to get a check for walking the line, he's the one that's saying, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars.
Right.
He's the one that's signing the checks that are
Right.
coming out to you.
Right.
And when you've got a membership, and at the time I believe my membership was over 1,000 people when I was there. That's a lot of
That's a
people.
lot.
And now it's, with the merger with 2101, it's even more people.
Right.
So if you didn't get your check, see Chuck.
Okay, the buck stopped with?
Yeah, I always, I would kid him all the time in the office. The buck stops with Chuck.
Right. And I hear honesty from what you're saying. Honesty is important. Trust is important. Those are important part of our characteristics of someone, to be able to be trustworthy and also honest when you're talking about managing money.
Well, I know one thing about Chuck. He is an honest individual.
Yeah.
And that's the priority, you know. I mean, not only that, but being organized as well as he is,
Yeah.
and computer savvy. He'll tell anybody, I'm no computer genius, but he's got his stuff together.
Very good. Now, my final question, Tim, is now, you look straight in the camera, and those people are watching this video today. Tell them, why should they vote for Chuck Dobry for Secretary Treasurer, Local 2100?
Well, I truly believe this. If you want somebody to look at for your benefit and use your dues most efficiently to provide for you, to keep you having a place to come to as far as meetings, to stay active and stay current, then Chuck is the person that you want. I would vote for him.